choice where they will be able to hide out behind her skirt tail and classify themselves as still having some great courage to at least allow a woman to step forward to take their places when they know they will only be doing that so that they can somehow put her in charge, just as they did during the times of slavery, to use her as nothing more than, as a sperm bucket, where she would be able to bring forth those little bitty would-be so-called animals that they would deem to be their sons, where they will be able to express the fact that they're still in some type of would-be power. I say to them again, not going to happen. Just because you have now decided to place the Statue of Liberty, some would-be Mother Liberty in some Hudson Bay in New York City, to pretend that America has a nation that is ran by some feminine force of some would-be Mama Liberty. You have went on now to even watch France try to bring forth one known as Josephine Baker. No offense to Miss Baker. She was a beautiful woman, very talented. But we do not care about France trying to push her forward now as being some so-called would-be monarchy of some France world, whereby she being a black female who served in their military to make her some hero in the world. No offense to Miss Josephine Baker, for we also realize the fact that now they are trying to do the exact same thing in the world, whereby we're looking in Mexico, the Spanish world, in which now they have so deemed to remove their statues and place some feminine statue of what they deem to be an indigenous female. We understand that as we look around the world now, as they begin to bring down the so-called would-be leaders of the past, of the white masculine forces and the white men in which they once had standing in their so-called would-be halls of fame and their would-be so-called heroic centers. We're watching them bring them down and put nothing more than black females, or if they might deem them to be women of color. But I told them they would do such, but I must get them to understand. Yah Allah, God of the universe, your God that you say was born in Bethlehem, being in a place that is known as your so-called would-be Middle East of Africa, knowing him to be a man of dark skin, black man, if you might want to call him by his real nationality. You must realize that the black male, the man of the universe, will soon be back in his place, irregardless of how you try to put some substitute in his place. I did not say that you will be able to call him a primate, as if though Facebook couldn't print it even much better, only to remove it by some way of saying that they spoke out of term. Let me help you out. You didn't speak out of term, Facebook. What you did was you told the truth. And if you might deem a black male to be a primate, you must understand that he is going to become the greatest gorilla in your would-be life. He is going to become the most strongest would-be primate in your would-be life. And the strength in which he is going to be imposed upon you is going to be greater than any gorilla banging down on your so-called would-be Rolls Royce while you're riding through the city. You must understand that I have bought you this warning. I gave you this warning back in 1999. I gave you this warning in 2000. And your Y2K is about to become reality of truth to you, and you must prepare yourself for your demise. Meantime, United Nations, we do know that the people of color, we do know that those people that around the world that is known as the people of color, whether he be born under the British flag, whether he be born under the French flag, whether he be born under some so-called would-be United States flag, those men of color, whether they be born under some Chinese flag, or whether they be born under some Russian flag, you must understand that the people of color, the people that is known as the people of color on the planet will reign. And those that classify themselves to be white, Aryan, would-be nations are going to be squashed in that hour when a second on the clock finds itself tick-tocking in a way where it will be skipping beat, just as the heart of those who have deemed themselves to be of an Aryan world will also be doing. Meantime, United World, United Nations, this is your call. We must move on. We must go forward for now, knowing that these plagues that are upon the earth will not go anywhere, and they're going to grow greater until every one of the wicked world has bowed his knee and has confessed that there is but one God, and in the last days he has sent his only begotten Son, that whosoever would believe in him will not perish but have everlasting life. And anyone that rejects that will be placed into the pit of hell. for he himself will live there eternally, where death will come to him every hour, every second of the day. Meantime, there's so much for me to do. I looked outside my window. It is once again day, and man must work while it's still day, for when night cometh, no man can work. My work goes on, and my days are becoming longer than my nights, and I am very much appreciative. Meantime, as for you, my brothers and sisters in the foreign nations, in the foreign world, I know that you have worked hard. It is darkness now creeping into your area. You deserve the rest of what you're going to receive. I say get it quickly, for that night will only endure for a short period, and then there will be another light. Until then, get all the rest that you can receive. Peace and love, and nightfall.
Thank you, Yehoshua. And thank you, family, for joining us. Of course, as it's Wednesday, we do have the Global Network update this evening at 8:30 Central Standard Time. We look forward to being with many of the family at that time as well. In the meantime, if it is dark in your area, take this opportunity. Do get the rest you need. It's light in ours, and we always continue to work on your behalf, family. We love you, and we'd always leave you with John 17:14 through 17. I, Yehoshua, have given them your word, Father Yah, and the world has hated them, because they are not of the world, just as I am not of the world. I do not pray that you should take them out of the world, but that you should keep them from the evil one. They are not of the world, just as I am not of the world. Sanctify them by your truth, Father Yah. Your word is truth. Until this evening, family, peace and love, and nightfall.